Good morning, students. Welcome to yet another session of geography. Today we are going to see the lesson air pressure. Now, in this, we are going to see 9 points, and those will be divided into two videos. In the first video, we are going to see altitude, the meaning of altitude, the meaning of air pressure. Then we are going to see the flying lantern experiment activity explained. Temperate zones revision because we have already studied them in the standard 6th, and then we will see the geographical explanation of the lantern experiment activity. Okay, so let's see what we will see in video number 2. In video 2 we will see pressure belts and planetary winds, effects of air pressure, isobars, units of measurement and instrument of air pressure. Okay, so let's start. So children, in your science book on page number 16, you had done one experiment with balloons. Blowing up two balloons, tying them to a hanger using a string, and then burst one balloon or inflate one balloon and see that the balance tipped on the side of the full blown balloon. Now why does this happen, children? This happens because air has weight, and this we have proved. So our base for today's lesson air pressure is that air has weight. Okay, we'll start with that. Anything that has weight exerts pressure on the thing that lies below it. Thus, the air in the atmosphere exerts pressure on the surface of the earth. Due to this air pressure, various phenomena like storms, precipitation, etc. occur in the atmosphere. There are variations in air pressure. Now children, air has weight to it, and the force of air pushing on an area is called as air pressure. Then there are variations in air pressure, means air pressure is not uniform on all places on the earth's surface. Air pressure keeps on changing from time to time. So, although air molecules are invisible, they still have weight and take up space. Air pressure is the force applied by air to any surface in contact with it. Air pressure can change because air particles can move farther apart or closer together. Information about air pressure is important for predicting weather because changes in air pressure means the weather is about to change. Okay? Then the factors influencing air pressure. The altitude of a region, temperature of the air and amount of water vapor in the air are some factors that influence air pressure. Now children, you must be remembering every year your teacher takes the height. How does she take it? She makes you stand near the wall or with the help of a tape or a meter tape she checks your height from the ground up till your head. This height is called as altitude when we measure the distance of a place from any sea level. Okay? Understood the difference, children? So let us study altitude now. So altitude is the height of an area measured from the sea level. Altitude of the region and air pressure. Now what is the connection between both of them? The proportion of dust in the air, water vapor, heavy gases, etc. is higher in the air closer to the surface of the earth. This proportion decreases with increasing altitude. As one moves higher and higher from the surface of the earth, the air becomes thinner and thinner. As a result, the air pressure decreases with increasing altitude. Okay, altitude means height. Okay, so with increasing height, the air pressure decreases, and that is why children, when you are climbing a mountain, when you are walking on a plain road, you do not feel exhausted that much. But when you are trying to climb the mountain, you feel exhausted. What happens? The air pressure there is low, and that is why you start humping. Okay. So the hot air that expands on the plain ground creates a storm, and the cold waves or the cold air that goes up precipitates. Okay. So children, higher the altitude, lower the pressure, less oxygen. Lower the altitude, greater the pressure and more oxygen. Okay. Now we will go to the lantern experiment. Okay. Now what you are going to do is take a flying lantern. You get it from your stores. Tie an approximately 5-meter long thread to the flying lantern so that you can bring the lantern down whenever required. Now after carefully reading the instructions given on the package of the lantern, open it and light the candle placed in it and observe what happens. Okay. And you are going to give me the answers for this 2 questions. But just think and you can give me the answers on the group. Okay. You can send me the answers. Now the explanation to this is that the air in the flying lantern gets heated. Once the candle is lit, the hot air expands, becomes lighter and starts moving up. Therefore, the lantern is also lifted up towards the sky. In nature too, a similar phenomena occurs. Okay. Now temperature and air pressure are closely related. Wherever the temperature is high, the air pressure is low. As the temperature rises, the air gets heated, expands and becomes lighter. This lighter air in the vicinity of the Earth's surface starts moving up towards the sky. As a result, the air pressure in such areas decreases. Now students, let us revise different temperature zones. Now why revise? Because we have already done this in the standard 6th. Now, first of all, the earth is divided into 2 parts by an imaginary line, equator. This is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. The extreme point of the earth on top is called as the north pole near the northern hemisphere, and the extreme point at the south is called as the south pole. Then the 2 zones which lie at 23 degrees and 30 minutes north and south are called as temperate zones. Then the zones which lie at 66 degrees and 30 minutes north are called as frigid zones. Okay, I hope you remember all this, children. Now let us summarize what we have learnt or seen in the video today. We have reviewed the experiment in science showing air has weight. Then we have seen the force of air pushing on an area which is called as air pressure. Then air pressure we have seen that is not uniform on all places on the earth's surface. Also air pressure keeps on changing from time to time. Then we studied what is altitude. Altitude is the height of an area measured from sea level. And then lastly, we have seen the flying lantern experiment activity and its geographical explanation. Also temperature zones. We have revised the temperature zones: frigid zone, temperate zone and torrid zone. Hope children you have understood today's video and the part of the lesson. Let us continue with the next part tomorrow and meet tomorrow in the next session of geography. This is your teacher Dipti Kamalwar signing off.